I had a question about number 10 on the long response questions. And this question asks you to manipulate the model of the feasible set between free time and course grades that is the middle of chapter 3. Anyway, describe a technological improvement that would improve your production function in which time is the input and course grade is the output, holding constant other inputs. Well, this, technology in the language of economics isn't necessarily, computers or high tech. It could be something so simple as improving study activities. There's a lot of evidence that undergraduates still spend a lot of time highlighting their books and rereading their books, which are, research has shown to be very unproductive study habits in terms of converting your time into good grades. Instead, students should be, but aren't necessarily quizzing themselves and each other, manipulating key concepts by reframing questions that they've seen already into slightly different questions and answering those. And there's other highly productive study activities that are relatively untried. Seeing professors, visiting tutors, etc. These are things that students should be doing more of, and yet they're not. I've got a citation. I just read an article about this week, and I'll post that. But by another development could be a chip that students implant in their brain that somehow monitors when students are thinking about some pop star. I can't even think of one. All of my references would be to the 70s when I was 18. Anyway, they're Farrah Fawcett, whatever. Anyway, you have a chip in your brain that maybe kept you alert and focused on school and zapped you if your mind ever strayed. Whatever. There could be a lot of technical improvements too. Anyway, the way we'd model that, this is part B, we'd model there being an initial feasible set of combinations of free time and course grades. And we can't really change free time because we're not going to change the calendar and suddenly create 26-hour days. I've often wanted to do that, but it's not within my power. And so the most somebody could spend on free time is 24, doing other things besides studying is what we mean there. And then let's say we had a feasible set that looked something like the one in the book, and I didn't have a flat period. Let's say just start at 10 instead of starting at 0. And this is course grade up here. These are, oops, I changed my pen by mistake. Here we are, course grade. And they had us topping out at 90, and maybe that's just the limits of the student's capacity. Well, let's think of suddenly the student learns how to study better, and there's an increase in productivity. What would that look like in the context of this model? Let's have the new line be in red. And we can't change the hours in a day. So the curve, the feasible set is still going to be anchored at 24, but everywhere else would shift up. So we'd sort of get this rotation up. And let's say the student now can attain 99 because those professors aren't going to give away 100%. Actually, I don't have any problem doing that if a student has earned that. But anyway, that would be how we model this for part B. And then for part C, the way we'd model it, let's go back to the original color pen. What might happen to your choice of study hours and the choices your peers might make? Let's just assume that you and your peers are the same. Just for time. That's referring to the optimum. Let's say you're a pretty good student and you study a lot, but not necessarily the 14 hours a day that Professor Reuter would want you to do, Phil would want you to do, just on economics. Anyway, so there's your initial feasible set. Remember that you would achieve the highest in this rational model, people behave to attain the highest level of satisfaction, and we have all these successive indifference curves, and this is the highest one that could be attained. Marginal rate of transformation, that's how you convert time into grades, would just equal the marginal rate of substitution. That's your willingness to trade course points for free time. And let's say this is 80 and 18, something like that, not drawn to scale. All right, well, what happens when this increase in the feasible set happens because of improved technology? Well, now notice that you can reach this point, we'll call it point A originally, just being creative. This is attainable, but now it's not the best you could do. And with this improvement in technology, you could do better. And let's just draw a new tangency. That's supposed to be a new tangency. It's not my best picture in history. But now we can get to B. And here, notice that the student has both a higher grade and more free time. Woohoo! This is the great news about technology. Let's say that's an 83. And there we have it. So here students have more free time and better grades. And if just slackers might choose just to convert it all to free time, or there's actually papers on grade targeting that suggest students do that. Really type A students that think about grades over everything. That was more me, I guess, when I was young. Might choose to even ratchet up their study time to really blow away the curve. Anyway, whatever. The point is that all those changes would be possible with that increase in technology.